All right. I really was looking forward to getting an interview with you, Aunty Leone. So first, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell me where you're from, and then let's do that, and then I'll ask you a question.
The crowd coming in.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
You want to just go?
We're okay?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, we're okay.
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. Let me do one more thing. Sorry.
How come I have an audience?
Yeah.
There are more people. Lock the door.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, we're good. We're rolling.
Running your stylist off of.
Oh.
Off of.
Yeah. In the hat.
Yeah. Okay.
Go away. I don't know what you're saying. I cannot see good.
This is gonna be great outtakes. Okay. Okay, so you're just gonna be talking to me like the camera's not here, right? So introduce yourself and then tell us where you're from, both where you grew up and then who you represent here in the community.
Now.
Yeah.
Aloha, ova no ho'i o Leone Saaga. No ka apua o haula makumuku ko lauloa makumukuni o Hawaii. Oahu Hawaii mai iau. Ua ulu wau ma haula mai ko uwa kamali'i a I ka ulu ana. Ua male wau I ka ukane, ua hele I BYUH. A leila ua ne'e mai ma'anei ka makahiki e lua kaukani Ava. So I'm Leone Saaga. My ohana is Keo from Hau'ula, which is in the district of Ko'olauloa on the island of Oahu. I was born and raised Hau'ula girl with deep roots there as well. And met my husband while we were both at BYU, Hawaii. We raised our family for the most part, at least our first three while we were in, Hau'ula Laie. And then we moved here to Utah in 2009.
And what did it mean for you? You played why don't you just explain the role that you guys played tonight and what it meant to you?
All right, so special mahalo to PolyStrong, to you, Tao and Frank for thinking of me as a representative of Hawaii. I don't like to use the term, but you hear the term token Hawaiian, yeah. And so I am that token Hawaiian, but I am the Hawaiian who, for the most part, knows her culture. Am a practitioner of the culture. Am a fluent Hawaiian language speaker. And so my capacity as far as our partnership and past collaboration, I'm the Pacific Islander Initiative Program Director at Utah Valley University. And so that's how we became colleagues and ohana. That's how we became ohana. And so again, mahalo to you for inviting us. And so I represent Hawaii, I represent my ohana, and I also represent UVU.
So tell me, as somebody from the island, somebody that really what you help to teach is what we saw in this film. How important is this? How did you feel when you saw this film?
Pride.
Yeah.
Pride. Because growing up from Hawaii and a Hawaiian, you learn or you know that Duke was the ambassador, but you don't really know why. You don't really know unless you actually are maybe even a surfer. I would imagine in the surfing world, and I'm not a surfer, I would imagine in the surfing community, many people know about Duke's story. But as a Kanaka Maoli, as a child growing up in Hawaii, I knew he was the ambassador, but I didn't know the extent of his story. So pride is the one word that comes to mind for me. And I just want to shout it out to everybody, look at us, we're not just the Lilo and Stitches of Hawaii, we're more than that. I'm proud to see that the impact that Duke made internationally in Australia, in Aotearoa, so much so that they have a statue there of him, and of course in Hawaii as well.
As a teacher who you work with students, and you look at the example that this man Duke Kahanamoku that he provided. What do you want the next generation to learn from this man?
Like he said, aloha. And so, like Uncle said, Pohaku said in the movie, everyone knows aloha as goodbye, hello. If you are in the Hawaiian community and speaking, mostly when we say aloha to or hello to everybody, it's hui, yeah? And when we say goodbye, it's ahui ho. We don't use aloha. We use kalamai, the pigeon started coming out. So we use aloha in different things. And if we all know, prior to 2019, but it really hit strong with Hawaii and just globally, we had the events that came about with Mauna Kea. And so another term that they use, especially in the Hawaiian community, is kapu aloha. And so what that meant is, through all this adversity, we would still show our aloha in all its pono, in all its righteousness, without being ku'e or without being huhu, which is without being, you can push back, but without anger, instead with aloha. And so Duke pegged it long time ago is aloha, and we want to bring that mana'o back, or that feeling back, not just a greeting or a salutation, but in its form of aloha, when you see everyone face to face and you feel of their presence through their ha, through their breath. And so aloha, and then another word they used in the movie was kuleana. And kuleana is responsibility. And so we all have a responsibility to share our aloha with everyone in its truest and in its truest form, which is aloha. The word is just aloha, aloha, love for everyone, no animosity, in its righteousness and in its purest form.
Okay, thank you. That's so beautiful. I appreciate your going through all of that, because that's we're not going to get that from anybody else.
Yeah.
I want you to just look in the camera this time and invite people to come and see this movie.
Heleo kono ke ia ya oko e kalahui e na poea pau o kea honua ne e hele mai e nana mai e nanea e nana ke ia ki oni o e hoi waterman na kama olelo o Duke Kahanamoku. So I invite everyone from all corners of the earth to come and watch this movie, Waterman, the story of Duke Kahanamoku. Aloha.
Perfect.